Good evening, I'm your host Jay Clark and welcome to the Scary Nighttime Radio Show. We hope you enjoy tonight's episode, which is entitled Pits of Hell Part 11. Curse of the Titanic.
In the last episode, we learned that the creatures from the underworld known as the Rakshasa have taken over the entire planet. They have unleashed fighter craft in the air and taken control of all the cities. The group awakens at the Connecticut state capitol in an area the Rakshasa have chosen to use as an interrogation room. The enemy has taken over the capitol and now use it as a command center. A Rakshasa lieutenant comes over to the group.
Okay, everyone, it's time to wake yourselves up. Stand up and prepare to meet thy queen.
The queen enters the room.
Well, good morning, everyone. I trust you all slept okay. I put you all into a deep sleep last night. We've learned all your names. I'm your new leader, Queen Nikita. Is there a leader amongst this group?
We had a leader, but you killed him.
That wasn't us, Frank. That was committed by a rogue Nazi soldier.
But aren't the Rakshasa and the Nazis all together?
We brought the Nazis with us because we knew they were ruthless killers, Jonah. They helped us defeat you humans, but we Rakshasa are the ones in control.
We have defeated all the armies of the world, and they're our prisoners. You are now living in the new Rakshasa order.
History shows us that Hitler wanted to rule the world. Now that he's been brought back from the pits of hell, what makes you think he will let you rule the earth?
Oh, he can have this world if he wants it. I'll just settle for the universe instead. There will be ruthless dictators in all my worlds out there, but I will be the supreme leader over them all.
You Earthlings will all bow to Hitler, and he will bow to the Queen.
Now we're going to find out what it would have been like if the Nazis had won World War II.
Except we have Hitler 2.0, Officer Murphy, and I think he's real pissed off about losing the war back in 1945. He's really gonna make us pay.
It is unwise to disobey us. Just take a look at this footage from outside. This is what happens to dissenters.
A television screen shows Rakshasa eating humans on the street.
Your politicians were a great help to us in the takeover of your planet. These scumbags were so easy to buy off. They would sell their own grandmother for a buck. Just look at what they're saying on your television screens.
A screen pops up for the group to view.
We here in Congress just want to say what a pleasure it is to work with our new partners, the Rakshasa. Together we will work to establish a one-world government and battle climate change.
But what about the reports of the Rakshasa eating people who disagree with them?
Oh, that's a lot of hogwash being spread by conspiracy theorists. We need to swiftly deal with these spreaders of misinformation. They need to be silenced. The Rakshasa are a good, decent species who are only here to help us succeed.
Yeah, all the social media sites need to censor every one of these conspiracy nutjobs who are spreading lies about the good-hearted Rakshasa who are trying to help us save the planet.
Absolutely. The Rakshasa don't eat humans. They are simply gentle giants trying to improve our lives. We must stomp out all spreaders of disinformation.
We control all the world's media now. These mind-numb robots will say whatever we tell them to say. We own them.
What about Brian and Jessica from Action News? They seem like straight shooters. They wouldn't steer us wrong.
Oh yes, Frank, those two. We had to send them to a Ray Education Center. This is those to know.
The channel is changed to Action News. We see Brian and Jessica in studio with the Rakshasa.
Yes, folks, that's right. The Rakshasa are loving and good. Welcome them into your homes. They only want what's best for you.
That's true, everyone. The Rakshasa will make this world a better place. In fact, I like this one. He's kinda cute.
Oh my goodness, they got to them as well. They've been completely brainwashed.
The funny thing is, Professor, most of your other news media people didn't need any convincing at all. Like brain-dead imbeciles, they just repeat the official line and don't question it. Now we Rakshasa are the officials in charge.
And your lying, filthy, crooked politicians didn't need any brainwashing either. They only needed lots of money thrown at them. That's all it took for them to sell out their own countries.
But none of this makes any sense. If you've actually taken over the country, then why do our leaders still remain in charge? Why isn't a Rakshasa in the White House?
Because we want to give the public the idea that this isn't a hostile takeover, but that we Rakshas are simply working in concert with your governments to make the world a better place.
As long as your politicians keep saying and doing what we tell them to, we will continue to give the illusion to the public that your leaders are still in control. This will keep the people from banding together and rising up against us.
We will keep your politicians and news media around for now because they're useful idiots for us.
But enough with the small talk. It's time to get started with the interrogation process.
You have information about military people who are planning a rebellion against the new Rakshasa order.
But we told you everything we know. The 3 soldiers escaped out a back way from the warehouse.
We have no idea of where they went.
We have ways of making you talk, Jessica.
Oh no, they're going to start by physically torturing us.
Oh, Frank, you foolish human. We've advanced way beyond that. We have found that mental torture is far more effective.
What in the world are you going to do with us?
Why, I'm going to put you all into a deep sleep, my dear fool. I will scare your minds to find your worst nightmares. Then I will select one of your nightmares, and you will all dream the same dream.
The Queen begins the process of scanning each of their minds to reveal their worst nightmares.
You will be able to interact with each other in these dreams. The difference with a Rakshasa-induced dream is that life and death are real.
If you die in the dream, you die in real life. For those of you who awaken, seeing your dead friends will surely persuade you to give us the information we want.
But we don't have the information you want.
That's enough from you, Professor. It's settled. I've chosen one of your nightmares. Now you will all live it. Sweet dreams, my little darlings. Sweet dreams.
By her supernatural powers of darkness, the Queen puts the group of 9 into a deep sleep where they all share the same interactive dream. They find themselves upon a huge ship from 100+ years ago. They are dressed in clothing of that era.
Where are we?
I would know this ship anywhere, Frank. It's the RMS Titanic.
And look at the way we're dressed. It's like we went back in time about 100 years. I look like I'm a wealthy heiress.
And look at Ro, honey. That appears like the same outfit you were wearing when we first met you. What is that called anyway?
It's called a sari. When I met you on that first night, I was wearing it because I was starring in a Hindu play called Deg Berhan about a wedding.
Well, it's a beautiful outfit, Ro, honey.
Why, thank you, Jonah.
And look at me. I'm dressed in a fancy top hat.
I'm dressed like an officer.
Well, that's fitting, but look at me. I'm dressed like a service worker.
Why the hell are we on the Titanic anyway?
Yeah, just whose nightmare is this anyway?
They all turn to Jonah.
Jonah, are we dreaming this because of you?
I think I'll have to plead guilty, Liz.
But I don't understand. You told us about the story how the professor built the time machine and you traveled back to 1912.
And it was a beautiful story, Rohani. Jonah met a woman named Catherine, fell in love, and both perished with the ship in 1912 when it sank, but were then reborn in 1985. Jonah ends up meeting her again.
But Jessica, how does that qualify as a nightmare? I don't understand.
What all of you don't understand is that it had been my life's dream to travel back in time and warn the Titanic's crew about the icebergs. When the professor built the time machine, I thought I could prevent the disaster from happening.
It had also been my life's dream. That's why I spent all those years building the time machine.
The nightmare part comes in when I realized that I was literally back on the Titanic but that I couldn't save anyone. I've had to live with that ever since.
But Jonah, you shouldn't blame yourself for not being able to change history.
Yeah, it wasn't part of God's plan. It's not your fault.
It may not be all Jonah's fault we are in this dream. I too have felt cursed by the inability to save that ship.
The point is that we are here and we must fight to stay alive. The Queen said that if we perish in this dream, we also die in real life.
Well, we all know the fate of the Titanic and that they will run out of lifeboats. To stay alive, we need to start getting ourselves prepared to survive the sinking.
Wait a minute, guys. We're missing Fu and Kyle.
Where in the world could they be?
All right, you two. Get back to work. No slacking around tonight from anybody on the Titanic.
What? How the hell did we get on the Titanic? Whose nightmare was this?
I don't know, but Jonah had gone back in time aboard the Titanic. Now here we are forced into shoveling coal once again.
This truly is a nightmare.
We'll have to find them. We can't let them go down with the ship. Let's start looking for them.
You know, Jonah, I had a great-grandfather who died aboard the Titanic.
Yes, he was an officer. I met him the first time around. He looked exactly like you. When I went back in time, I couldn't produce a passenger ticket for him, so he locked me up as a stowaway.
My family has informed me that I was the spitting image of him.
Exactly. It's too bad we can't save him, or anyone else on this ship.
Well, I don't know about that, Jonah. Maybe we can save him. I mean, I can't explain any of this, but right now we're on the Titanic and we can make our own choices.
Yeah, but none of this is real, Officer Murphy. It's all a dream.
But hold on there, Jessica. If we make the wrong move, we could die in this dream, meaning we'll die in real life. Life and death is about as real as it gets.
Spending time trying to rescue him could end up costing you your own life. We need to get prepared now. There's no way to save your great-grandfather anyway, Officer Murphy.
But you don't know that, Jonah. Look, I can't explain any of this. This wicked spell the Queen put us under. But if there's a chance I can save my great-grandfather so he could have lived out his life, I have to try. But Officer Murphy, even if you were to find him, he would never believe that you're his great-grandson. He's too young. You're right, Professor. I'll have to come up with something more believable then.
With that, Officer Murphy runs off to find his great-grandfather. There seems to be no way for the group to stop him from going.
What are we going to do? What if he doesn't make it off the ship on time?
Look, our whole point in this nightmare is to stay alive. If anyone perishes in the sinking, they will never wake up. We have to go after him.
I agree. Let's try to catch up with him. We have to talk some sense into him.
We also have to search to find Fu and Kyle.
The group decides to find Officer Murphy, but he has disappeared into the crowd. While frantically searching for Fu, Kyle and Officer Murphy, Jonah accidentally bumps into a young woman.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, miss.
The lady turns around. It's Catherine. Jonah is shocked.
Catherine.
How do you know my name? I don't believe we've ever met.
I have a feeling we met a long time ago.
You know what? I'm thinking I do know you from somewhere. Somehow. I just can't remember where or when. Your name is... Jonah?
Yes, Catherine. I'm Jonah.
Then I do know you. Oh, Jonah. Why can't I remember where I met you?
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
Oh, try me, Jonah. I'm pretty gullible.
Yes, I know. I remember that about you.
Oh, tell me, Jonah. Were we lovers in a past life or something?
The others see Jonah and Catherine holding hands from a distance.
Well, just look at them. They seem to be hitting it off pretty well.
It's like as soon as he laid his eyes upon her, he totally forgot about us.
I know it. What are we, chopped liver?
Oh, come on, ladies. Don't take it so seriously. Try to remember this is only a dream.
It looks like he's pretty dreamy-eyed about her.
It's like we don't even exist to him.
You know, ladies, jealousy can be a very destructive force.
Shut up.
Jonah explains to Catherine that he has to get back to the group. Rohani and Liz don't look very happy.
Was it something I said?
Jonah, did you warn Catherine about the icebergs so that she might save herself?
No, I didn't, but you have to remember that this is only a dream. It wouldn't make any difference anyway.
The group continues to look for Officer Murphy and the others. While making their way through the ship, they bump into someone else.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I should watch where I'm going. I'm Mitch McConnell.
You mean like the Senator Mitch McConnell?
Senator? No. I'm an attorney. Come to think of it though, at just 39 years old, I would be considered young to get into politics. Thanks for the idea though.
A bystander overhears the conversation. He comes over to introduce himself.
Hi everyone, sorry to butt in. I'm Joe Biden.
You mean as in President Joe Biden?
Come on man, slow down a minute there buddy. Like this guy, I'm not in politics just yet, but I'm also only 39.
Is that so? Wow. It seems we have a lot in common.
Hey, let's find a restaurant. I'll buy you a drink while we discuss this politics idea.
The two depart to find a place to eat aboard the ship.
Oh man, it was fancy meeting those two here.
When did the Titanic sink?
On April 15, 1912, 111 years ago.
Well, they said they were 39 years old. So how old would they be now?
150 years old each.
Oh man, this is hard to believe.
Oh, come on, guys. Try to remember this is only a dream. We have no proof that Biden or McConnell were actually on the Titanic.
Yeah, I suppose it is a little hard to believe they were actually aboard the Titanic.
And that they are 150 years old now.
Oh, now, that part I can believe.
Oh yeah, I believe that part is true.
I'll agree to that.
It sounds about right.
Guys, we've got to stay focused on finding Officer Murphy, Fu, and Kyle. Our time is drawing near to when the ship strikes the iceberg.
I wonder where Fu and Kyle could possibly be.
I don't know, but we'd better find all of them soon. Otherwise, they're going to go down with the ship.